Let me tell you a little story about when I was in maybe 10th grade, 11th grade. I was an Xbox 360 guy. I decided, hey, you know what? I like the way this PC gaming thing sounds. I'm gonna get me a laptop. And it was garbage. It was a garbage laptop. I couldn't game on it. But I wanted to play games and I no longer had an Xbox. But I had quite the extensive video game collection. So I traded in a bunch of stuff. Bunch of rare gems that I had that are probably worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars now. But I traded that stuff in to get me a PlayStation 3 because I heard of this cool new game coming out called The Last of Us, and I was a huge zombie fan, huge zombie game fan, and a huge story game fan. Resident Evil was my favorite franchise, and it still was back then. So I was in love with The Last of Us. So I bought it. Day one, I bought that game. Loved it. Incredible. The most beautiful game that I had seen up to that point. Cried multiple times, because it was a sad game. Cried at the beginning, cried in the middle, cried at the end. I cried just at the beauty of the visuals in some areas. When you see the zoo animals run past you on the screen, you're just looking out at the landscape. I got teary-eyed because I was like, gaming graphics are never going to be better than this. And they never were. Then The Last of Us Part 2 came out, years later, and I was excited until there were leaks that Joel dies, and I was like, oh, well, I guess that I'm gonna wait, maybe it'll be good, see where this goes. If they make Ellie the main character, you just play as Ellie, I'll be cool with that, but no, two main characters. Abby was the other main character, and I hated her. I hated her design. She looked like a dude to me. She looked like she had a lot of muscle, but somehow still a lot of fat. I didn't like the fact that you play as her, even though she's the one who killed Joel. Oh, and so you can feel for the person who you would perceive as the villain. And then you play as the hero going after the villain, you play as the villain going after the hero. And they both have motives that are good and bad. To show depth of character, and it was terrible. I hated it. I watched somebody play it. I didn't pay for that. Now we're at this point. The Last of Us Season 1 came out. It was alright. A little bit too gay, but it was alright. I like zombie shows. I've seen worse. I would watch The Last of Us Season 1 before I'd rewatch Z Nation. Season 2 came out, and all the people who didn't know about Joel dying were surprised. And that's all I've heard. So let's get into the news. Last of Us Season 2 cable ratings crash and burn. Boomers walk away after Joel death. Yeah, that's what pretty much everybody who played the games did too. We said it was bad writing then. People are saying it's bad writing now. It's bad writing. I've been hearing that people have been saying that it's being review bombed by people who played the games. I don't think that's true. Maybe some. But what are the odds that the original one got review bombed and this one got review bombed also? Because it didn't happen. The original one sucked. This one sucked. Talking about Last of Us 2.
Oh, let's check in with The Last of Us Season 2 and see how things are going for a show that was doing very well. We still don't have streaming numbers for the show, but we've got regular cable ratings, which I would say are probably the best indicator for where things are going for this, because
95% tomato meter. I think that reviewers are in bed with these companies that make movies and TV shows. I really do, because I think that the companies that run these movies and TV shows make money from reviewers bringing them more clicks, right? And the reviewers make money on the clicks that are bringing people to their videos talking about the TV shows and the movies, and it tricks them into watching the things, and they keep coming back doing it over and over again. It's a cycle. I see it happening. I can feel it happening to me sometimes when they're trying to force me to think a certain way, like, actually, you're wrong, this is a 9 out of 10. Your opinion doesn't matter, these are facts. It is objectively good. And that's not the way entertainment works. Reviewer says show is 9 out of 10. I watch show, and it's a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 or worse. And it happens so often to the point where I'm just like, they're making money off of each other in a way that's not how you're supposed to do it. It's almost like they're trying to create communities that will just keep driving up the numbers, keep rewatching it, because we got this binge watch culture going on. So if you just watch it once, that's not enough. You have to get people to watch it multiple times. And if they're super fans, they're going to watch it multiple times, and that's what they're trying to do to every single show. They want everything to be Stranger Things.
You don't get any more normie than people that still watch shit on cable. So, quick little update in case you don't know what's going on here. This show started off strong. In season 2, they decided to eliminate Joel, which is faithful to the video game. So, I'll give them that.
I think people who watch cable are mostly in their 40s or older. Just because that's something that they've always done, and people get stuck in their ways of things that they've always done, they're going to keep doing until they can't do it anymore.
They didn't drag it out. They didn't change it. No, they 9-ironed him on the second episode, and of course it caused a backlash. Big time. And now, people that didn't even play this game are getting called, every name in the book by mainstream journalists. So before we get into it...
Not just mainstream journalists. It's like weirdos online, too, who I don't think actually watch anything. They might only watch these shows that these reviewers say are 9 out of 10. And then don't watch anything else, so they actually don't know what's good, because they refuse to watch anything that the reviewers are going to say is a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10, or is problematic for the modern audience.
Real quick, I got a comic book out over on Ripascend. Awesome book, great art, great story. It's a World War II alternate history story.
It looks cool, but it's not my style.
Got to get good. I'm very happy with. We've got a rated. Now let's get in to The Last of Us season 2, and how after just 3 episodes, the ratings on cable have dropped by 20%. Now the reason
is this supposed to be Abby? I haven't seen anything from this season 2. Why does she look like a normal female? Why does she look like a normal attractive female? So they can do this. But now it doesn't feel right, because I was expecting like a big buff chick. So why'd you make Abby look like that in the first place if you were just going to turn around and make her look normal again anyway? These people are so fucking stupid, they do not get it.
The reason that this is funny is because, like I've said in previous videos, this is normies. You don't get any more normie than people that are still using cable. Most people don't even have cable anymore. So keep in mind, this isn't the entire picture. The streaming numbers will still likely be pretty high, but they will go down. We don't know what those are yet, and we won't know for a little while. But cable is funny to me because most of these people have probably never played the games, which is great to see because it just vindicates everybody that got attacked over disliking what happened to Joel in the video game.
Yeah, but they're trying to make it seem like that's not what's happening. They're trying to make it seem like people like me are the ones review bombing. And I don't think that's what's going on. Not what I've been seeing.
Because now you've got people that aren't attached to shit. They're not attached to any kind of culture war. They're not attached to any kind of online movement. These are likely just regular people coming home from their job and wanting to watch some TV.
Those people don't exist. You're either on one side or the other. There's no in between. That's what these people think. That everybody's involved in this. They think everybody sees. Anybody that disagrees with them, though, is on the other side. It doesn't matter if they're just a regular person who just goes to work, goes home, and just, throws on a TV show while they're on their phone or something. Not even really paying attention. They got kids screaming in the background while they're just trying to watch a show, and they're not going to tell their kids to quiet down because at least they're distracted.
So they're sitting down and watching the character they liked for a whole season get 9-ironed by some girl named Abby. And She looks a lot better than the video game version. I will give them that. She would have made a pretty good Ellie, actually.
Yeah, this version of Abby makes it seem like their decision to make Abby buff and dude-like in the original version of the game retarded. It was retarded, but it makes it even more retarded because they could have done it and they ended up doing it. Isn't the creator of the game actually directly involved in this also? It's so stupid.
But what's done is done there. So, according to US TVDB, the first episode attracted around 938,000 viewers.
Definitely inflated. They're playing it in other places, probably. They've got places where it's like on 5 different TVs going at the same time, and that's counting as viewers. I know how these views work. I mean, yeah, there's probably still a lot. Maybe like just 100,000 viewers are inflated. But they do this.
That number plummeted with the second episode, where Abby kills Joel, to 643,000.
Which, by the way, compared to numbers of old, that's nothing. I just want you to know. Z Nation, another zombie show, an older zombie show, probably would consider it way lower in quality. Episode 1 got 1.58 million US viewers. So there's something wrong with this picture.
However, the show's viewership rebounded with the release of the third episode. It achieved 768,000 viewers. That's an increase of 19% from the second episode, but it's still a decline of over 18% from the first one. So they're still down quite a bit. Quite a bit. And keep in mind, like I said, this is just cable, right? This isn't streaming. But the entire point to me with this is, most people, I would imagine, stream now, right? And the streaming numbers are huge. Those, I think, the first episode they said pulled in 1.1 million, at least according to Samba TV, which was 7% higher than season 1.
That's still less. I mean, if you can combine them, I guess it's barely more than Z Nation. And honestly, that's embarrassing. Nobody watches this. Nobody cares. 1 million people out of, 300 million in the United States? And is this United States numbers? Yes, it is. That's not very many.
So now they're saying these numbers come in the wake of Warner Brothers reporting that the season 2 premiere attracted 5.3 million viewers across its various platforms. That was a 13% increase from the season 1 premiere, which totaled 4.7 million viewers back in January. Samba TV also noted that they drew 1.1 million U.S. households for the season 2 premiere, which they reported was 7% higher than season 1. A lot more people are watching stuff on streaming.
Oh yeah, they are. Cable is slowly dying, especially as they add more and more ads all the time. So overall, The Last of Us is doing probably about 2 times better than Z Nation. Overall. In the United States, if you combine all of the numbers, The Last of Us barely did better than Z Nation. And it just shouldn't be like that. I thought this was a massive movement. I thought everybody loved this show.
Especially when you consider, like, I think HBO Max, do they have a free ad tier? I don't think they do. I think it's like $10 with ads, but most people are watching the show that way, and that's just a fact. But a lot of the boomers, older people, just people that I guarantee you more than likely did not watch or play the original games. 20% of them noped out. And according to a lot of these journalists, these people don't exist.
My grandma would have definitely checked out this show, and she definitely wouldn't have liked it. I can already tell you. Sounds like something that she would like, so she would definitely have checked it out. I haven't asked her about it. I probably will, see if she'd watched that yet. She might have some opinions on it. If I make another Last of Us video, I'll report on it.
They're supposed to love this. It's actually a campaign against the show. It's just a bunch of bigots. It's not because the show sucks. Now, I'm really excited to see what the ratings look like for episode 3 and 4 on the streaming numbers, but we're not going to get that for a couple of weeks. It'll be a while. Daredevil was almost done by the time they got to some of the later episodes in that show. So it's tough to say where things are going to go with that, but we can report that some of these boomers that watch the show dipped the hell out. Screw this shit. I'm out of here. And then they wouldn't put something else on. So, still funny nonetheless. These journalists claims these
They went and put on Gunsmoke or Bonanza.
people, they didn't exist. They're not real. But yet they're very real. And I totally believe that this number, all right, let's say you take out some of the people that are just disliking it because they don't like the game. I bet you this popcorn meter would still be around 55%.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a 5.5, 6 out of 10, something like that. That's what it seems to me from everything that I've heard, that this is what this show is a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10 show. Barely average. Some would say that's below average because a lot of people say 7 is the average. But I think 5 or 6 is average. And I don't like average. I like good and I like great.
It's just funny to me. They take these terrible things that happen in these shows and movies and try to act like no one cares and the show is still good. Like, how many times have we seen this? In the last one,
we've seen it so many times that we've forgotten all of the shows that everybody defended. All of these amazing shows that broke records. Everybody still talks about them, right? Everybody wears all the merch. I'm seeing people with Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series t-shirts everywhere. The Halo live action series t-shirts everywhere. People buying up the collector's edition steel books. No, we're not seeing any of that.
that I talked about, they were blaming people that don't like Brie Larson and Rachel Zegler. The cope is real. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I just thought this was funny.
Yeah, it is funny. I love to see it. I love to see that these morons who used to make good things went insane and stopped making good things and are just making decisions based on politics, and then later the politics changed, so their original decision was just like, why? Why did you make that stupid decision for politics? And now it just seems like you were pandering a little bit. Trying to make quick buck right away and forgot that your thing has to exist throughout time. And that's really how you make money and how you get known as somebody who makes great things and projects your future things to be even greater. No, keep pandering to the modern audience. See how people see you in the future. See where you're going to be in the future. They can't look that far ahead. They don't know what the future holds, so they're just going to focus on the now. Money, 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 money. Speaking of money, I got a t-shirt shop down there in the description if you want to buy a t-shirt. I'm out.